friend of my brother's asked me if I wanted to work on restoring this writing desk. But it was only when I got home and did a Google image search of this that I realised that this piece is actually quite valuable. Inside the middle drawer was the maker's mark Henredon. I found a very similar looking writing desk online for $1,495. There are some serious issues with this though. Firstly, the drawer handles aren't original, and inside the drawer are some more drawer handles which I don't believe are original either. We have quite a lot of areas with missing veneer. Some kind of filler has been added in a few areas. I have a feeling that's going to be a nightmare to remove. For some reason, 2 holes have been drilled and then filled in the side panel, but whoever glued them in there didn't take care of the glue squeeze out, which is now dried on there really hard. There are loads of scuffs, dents and scratches, and there are thousands of these small black blobs all over it. Interestingly, these weird blobs also appear on the images of the desk that I found online. Anyone know what these are? I'll start by working on the damaged veneer. I have plenty of wood veneer that I can use, including quite a bit of walnut. I had 3 unexpected quick wins on this project. The first is that I expected this filler would be difficult to remove, but it really wasn't. This appears to be some kind of wax and it came off easy. The second win was that in addition to those unoriginal drawer knobs, I also found 2 Nerf gun bullets and a 5p coin inside the desk, which means technically I'm already in profit on this job. And the third I'll show a little later. I check for areas of loose veneer by tapping with my finger. I want to keep as much of the original veneer as possible, so I scrape away the old glue and reapply new to get it fixed back in place. After prepping this big area, I had a look through the veneer that I had to see what would be the best match, and even though this was listed as a walnut desk, this veneer around the perimeter of the drawer doesn't look like walnut to me. I'm holding up some walnut veneer now and the grain looks nothing like what's on the drawer. But then I found this piece which looks to be an excellent match. Not sure what wood it is, but it's definitely my best option. I just had to hope that I had enough of it to do all the repairs. This is roughly how it'll look with finish applied. That wasn't quite the end of the veneer work either, because the back of the desk needed some repairs too, but I think you've seen enough of this by now. So we'll move on to the legs, which had quite a few knocks and bumps on them. And because these are solid wood, all I'm going to do is hit them with some 120 grit sandpaper to remove the finish, and then apply a coat of shellac to see what kind of colour I got. And this looked too light in colour, so I mixed some dye in with the shellac, and I could just keep topping this up until I get the colour that I want. Later on, this got denibbed, and then a couple of coats of spray varnish. Now here's that third quick win that I mentioned earlier. I thought that these were plugged holes. I mean, what else could they be? There's glue squeeze out around the perimeter of each circle. But when I scraped away that glue, it was clear that there never were any holes here. I'm completely baffled by what these two circles were, or why they were here. If anyone's got any ideas, I would love to hear them down in the comments. Now, let's get hydrated. This is the clearest and smoothest tasting water that I've ever had from our kitchen. And that's because it was filtered using this machine by Waterdrop, who are sponsoring this video. I happen to live in an area of the UK that has some of the hardest water, and the Waterdrop K19 model that I have here not only filters water using reverse osmosis, a water purification process that removes ions, molecules and larger particles, but it also provides hot water within 1 second at the touch of a button. There are 4 temperature settings: room temperature, which I personally prefer for drinking water, 45 degrees, which is perfect for things like baby formula, plus 85 and 95 degrees, which are great for hot drinks like tea and coffee, or one of your favourite pot snacks. And there are 5 capacity settings in millilitres, which you can use for various size of cups and bottles. But really the start of the show is the filter itself, which is easy to fit and can last up to 12 months depending on your usage, and the machine lets you know when a new filter is required. This particular machine requires no plumbing. You just fill up the water tank provided, plug it into an electrical socket, and you're good to go. But Waterdrop make a wide variety of other machines, including under-counter plumbed-in solutions, cold water dispensers, and under-sink filters too. If you'd like to drink cleaner, healthier water, then please check out the links in the description box below. For the top, my go-to method has always been scraping with a card scraper or a carbide scraper. This finish was too tough for a card scraper, and my carbide scrapers were really struggling too. The blade had a tendency to kind of skip over certain areas. It was also really well bonded to the wood, and I was seeing some of the wood fibres from the veneer coming off with the shavings. So I thought I'd try some chemical stripper on one corner just to see how it performed. I left it for an hour and it looked like it would do a reasonably good job. So I decided to adopt that approach from here on, blathering it on nice and thick, leaving it for an hour, then coming back and reapplying more, leaving it another hour and then scraping it off. It's well known that chemical stripper doesn't work as well as it used to before the key ingredient was banned here in the UK for safety reasons, but I am starting to see that these new formulas do work as long as you're patient and happy to do multiple applications. And 2 coats wasn't quite enough to remove all of it, so here I am on coat number 3, which managed to cut through what was left. I then used some 4/0 steel wool and white spirit to clear any remaining residue. When I removed the finish from the edges, whatever dye or stain was used to colour these was coming off with the finish, so I'll need to do some colour work on these. But first, a denib with some 180 grit wet and dry paper. This is a spirit-based dark oak dye, and again I can keep topping this up to get the colour I want. Now that I know the chemical stripper works, I get that applied to the back and side panels of the desk and also the drawer fronts. At this point, I added a thin coat of shellac to the drawer fronts to get an idea of how they would look with finish applied. So interestingly, the veneer that I chose to use is actually a really good match. From here to here is a new piece of veneer, and from here to here is a new piece of veneer. And you can see the colour is pretty close to the original veneer. In fact, it's even a better match than this piece of veneer down here, which is much lighter in colour, and that piece is original. And the beauty of using this dye mixed with some shellac is that I can just keep topping up coats to any of the lighter areas until everything looks a little more consistent. Now to tackle some of the smaller areas of damaged veneer, and for that I'll use these hard wax sticks. I just need to find the closest matching colour, heat up a butter knife, and I can melt the wax in. There was one bigger area of damage at the back, so I needed to build up the wax here in layers and shape it to match the shape of the beading. I decided to use hard wax oil as a top coat. Applying as thinly as possible and then laying it off gently with the tip of the brush. And I left it for a couple of days to cure. Then after denibbing again, I applied the second coat. Now let's talk drawer handles. The image of the matching desk that I found online shows these quite ornamental knobs and ring pulls. For the few that I found that were similar in appearance, I couldn't validate whether they were actually solid brass or not. To me, it's more important that the handles be solid brass rather than look similar to the original, so this is what I've sourced. These are vintage brass ring pulls from eBay, and I just cleaned them up a little. And then for the knobs, I found these, which aren't vintage, but they are solid brass, and I thought the shape of these would look nice. However, they were available in two different sizes, 25mm and 30mm, and I think I made a mistake buying the bigger ones. They look too big for this narrow drawer, in my opinion. Interestingly, the one matching desk that I managed to find online, and they really are matching by the way, because they even have the same model numbers stamped on the bottom. Anyway, that matching desk sold a few days ago, and the listing has since disappeared. Unfortunately for me though, I've never had good luck selling dark wood furniture. I mean, who would want to buy something like this that will last centuries when you could just buy something new from IKEA? So I have a feeling this will sit in our home somewhere, getting in the way for the next few weeks, months, who knows, even years. If you are interested in buying this desk though, and you can pick it up from Norwich in the UK, please do drop me an email because I'd love to find it a new home. I've spent 2.5 days working on this, so I'm looking for around the £500 mark just to cover my time. And if you are better at selling things than I am, then maybe you could even turn a profit on it. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching.